So you wake up and you're experiencing this reality that's not yours. So the way that this works is, let's say you're poor. Everyone wants to know this. We're just going to work with a money example for the rest of this, right? You don't have money. You can't pay your rent. You don't have the money to go out to restaurants you want. You don't have the money to travel the world. How can you get out of that? Well, the secret says to be the person who isn't that. To be the person who's rich. Well, that's great, but that doesn't say anything. No one's giving you tangible explanations of how to do this. Well, the way to do this is to detach and realize that what you're experiencing, if you're experiencing a day where your bank account is at zero, you're experiencing all that stuff, is not to react to it. If you react to it, you're exchanging energy with the old version of you. So everything you're experiencing on a day-to-day basis, everything that you're experiencing is outdated. It's already outdated. And whatever you ask the universe for, it's already coming towards you faster than you can imagine. Well, why aren't I getting it? Why aren't I getting $10 million? Why aren't I getting all this stuff? Because you're constantly exchanging energy with the opposite of what you want. So your bank account's out of money, you're like, oh man, my life sucks. And in doing so, you're reacting. You're saying, okay, what that energy is, I'm going to exchange with my energy, and I'm going to keep creating that. And I'm going to keep giving that momentum, more and more momentum. The more you do that, the more these huge things have momentum, right? You smoke weed every day, it's really hard to stop smoking weed because your reality has the momentum of being high when you experience all these different things. So even when you try to stop smoking weed, people are like, hey man, you want some weed? And you're like, yeah, okay, perfect. So the way for this to work out, and I hope I'm explaining this in like a decent way. If not, well, I don't know. You're going to have to play around with it yourself. But is that wake up, match the energy that you want. And as you go throughout your day, you're going to see things that are byproducts of the version of you used to be. So the version of you that you used to be is creating what you're experiencing now. So how do you experience what your day is like? What's the best way to do that? Well, someone else, think of it as your grandparent. The old version of you 2 weeks ago, think of them as your grandparent. They created this reality for you. You can't really judge it because you don't really know why or how it was created. So the best you can do is enjoy it, right? Nobody knows why they're born German. No one understands why they're, born in Mexico. Any of these different things. So the more you fight it, the more it's just going to cause you problems. You can't do anything about it. So the reality that's around you is already there. And so your momentum is what causes you to define it. So I have $0 in my bank account. Oh, I'm poor. Well, that right there, that's going to keep you poor because what you're saying is what the old version of me, my grandparent version of me, created, that was me. And that's who I am. And that's who I am today. So the grandson of me, version-wise, is also going to be poor. So you keep doing this. It's just like the ultimate thing this is showing you is just to be completely detached from everything. And this is how detachment works too, is that the day goes on and it doesn't really matter what happens. It doesn't matter if you get hit by a car. It doesn't matter if your girlfriend cheats on you with your best friend. It doesn't matter if you have $0 and you're living under a bridge. That has nothing to do with you. Nothing. That stuff is created by another entity that's not you. I like to think of it as every single day. You wake up as a completely different being. So completely let go of any judgment or any guilt or resentment that you have towards yourself. Because the person that you were then is the grandparent of who you are now. So be grateful, And so what you do is you look around and you get excited about the weirdness of what's going on, And think of it as that whatever you're wanting is coming to you. You just have to not react to what already is around you. Because the more you react to what's going on around you, the more you just keep creating that because you're exchanging energy with it. So the new version of you is constantly reacting with what the old version created, thus creating this timeline of everything kind of being the same and things changing slowly, if that. But if you don't react at all, or if you react, no, react's not a right word. If you create whatever you're experiencing into something that you want, you can change it really, really quick. So, for example, Two different ways to do it. Bank account's empty. Man, I'm poor as shit. This sucks. I don't have any money. Well, okay. That's going to be exchanging energy with the version of you that was poor enough to create poorness. So, good luck. It's going to keep happening. But if you see it as, man, the version of me used to be poor. I've already asked for money. Abundance is coming towards me, and I am matching the energy of abundance, so here it is. Match the energy of abundance, and be like, man, this is one of my last days to experience having my bank account this low. Like, this is awesome. Like, what do I want to do? What are you going to do with your last day on earth? What do you want to do with your last day being poor? And get excited about it. Enjoy it for what it is. And in doing so, you're going to work to remove so much more of the resistance you have to it. And the more you can get neutral to stuff, you can choose what it means to you. And when you're neutral and you choose what it means, then you can make anything into anything. And this is the key to magic. This is the key to meditation. This is the key to enlightenment, is the fact that nothing has a meaning. And the meanings you're programmed to think, and the meanings your reality has taught you through experience, they're all wrong. What you have to do is switch it every single day. You have no idea who the person was who was in this body yesterday. The frequency of the planet and your frequency is constantly raising to move towards a point of oneness with all that is. So, okay, the guy who was in this body yesterday sure looks a lot like me, not me. And his mistakes, he did the best he could. So where are we going to go from here? Well, the material you have to work with is what he gave you. So you can think of it as in awesome ways, right? Same way people are like, well, we have to save our world. We have to save our oceans so our grandkids have a world to live with. It's like, you have to stop being a pussy so that the grandchild version of you doesn't have to keep dealing with what you don't want to deal with. In order to do this, you have to match a frequency of something that you want to gift yourself with. So your bank account's at zero? Who cares? That is a byproduct of the past, which manifests in the physical later, right? So however you feel, let's say you feel like shit one day, okay, because you feel that way, it manifests physically later. So everything manifests physically later. You go into meditation, you move energy, you forgive your past, forgive yourself. Any of these things, they manifest later. How much later? Could be 2 seconds, could be 2 years. That's up to you. So the whole point is, don't react. Create. So in creating, creating is, in my meditations, we would always say, when you add the see to reaction, you get creation. So once you're able to see energy and to see where it comes from, how it's made, and where it's going, then you don't react to it because you're never caught off guard. It's like the difference between getting beamed in the head with a baseball or standing on the mountain with a bat and seeing a ball coming. You hit the ball, home run, completely different realities. So we're missing this huge thing that the past is creating the present and the present is creating the future, but they're all just the present. So if there's only one moment and you're just switching your perspectives around the moment, like the sun, the earth rotates around the sun's not moving, but the earth is changing its perspective around it, so we're getting different sides of it. It's like you're not moving, my mouth isn't moving, I'm not recording this, you're not really seeing this on YouTube. All this stuff, it's just perceptual shifts. So every person you're interacting with, too, it's not another person. It's just another perspective that you have that appears separate from you. So what you have to do is just ignore what you're experiencing. Be detached from it. If you're having a shitty day, it does not matter. None of it matters. Do not react to anything. Train yourself in this. And in doing so, you'll be able to match the frequency. You match the frequency of abundance. Man, if you could see what it's like to match the frequency of abundance for a week straight, and anytime you go purchase something, or anytime you check your bank account, or anytime you got to dinner, anything like that, if instead we're like, oh shit, I only have $100 left. If you don't even worry about that, and you just match the frequency of abundance, then you're going to see that manifest physically very, very soon. So your bank account will fill up, all this stuff, and then let's say it's just going to keep going. And the more momentum something has, the less you can ruin it. So if you have a week's worth of matching abundance, and you have one thought like, oh, I have to pay $600 for this bill, I don't have enough money, that is not necessarily going to create more poverty for you because you have some momentum. So this is The major thing people are missing out on in life is they're thinking that what they're experiencing right now is who they are, and it could not be more further from the truth. Nothing that you're experiencing is who you are. How you react to it right now is determining who you are. In order to do that, you can't react. It's not about reaction at all. It's about controlling yourself and creating it to be what you want it to be.